Okay, welcome back to His and Her Homestead. Today I'm going to be harvesting some spinach seeds. Now, when spinach first starts to go to seed, it will start getting a lot taller. Normally, the spinach leaves will bunch down close to the ground, and then as it gets hotter in the summer, it will start to go to seed and it'll start to get taller and taller. Now here's kind of one that isn't quite ready to harvest. See, it's gotten really tall, pretty ugly, and it starts to get, let me see if you can see it, these little bunches at the base, like along the stem. And so those will eventually be seed. And when it dries out, you want to kind of leave it on the plant as long as possible and let it dry out in the ground. And then it'll look like this. And your garden will look pretty ugly for a while because, it's a bunch of dying plants. But then you'll be left with things, the plants will start to look like this. They'll have these little bunches on here, and those are the seeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the ones that are looking pretty dry. When the plant's going to seed, you want to keep watering it and keep the plant alive until it starts to go to seed and starts to turn brown like that. So you don't want to just, I've neglected it some, as you can see, there's a lot of weeds in here, but I do keep watering it, at least periodically, to keep the plant, alive enough to produce seeds. And then, once it starts to get dry like this, you can stop. And we have some rain coming in, which is why I'm about to pull it so that it won't take even longer to dry out, because you'll pull these and you'll break all those seed pods off, and then you'll lay them out and let them dry before you store them. So I'm gonna pull them up and then take them inside and show you. See, they come up pretty easily. Also, whenever it first starts to go to seed, it'll get these little bunches on the ends of the leaves, and those are not the seeds. It might look like it at first. They almost have little bitty blooms on them, but those are not the seeds. The seeds, like I said, are against the stem. You see those? And those will come later after those little blooms. And see, those are still green, so those aren't quite dry yet. You can go ahead and pull that and hang it, somewhere cool and dry in your house or in your garage to let them dry out. Or you can just let them dry on the stem like I did with those. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm inside and I'm gonna show you how to get the little seed bunches off. It's pretty easy. I've already done some. I just have like the leaves and the trash on this side, and then the seeds are over here. So you start with your bunch like this, and I'll just kind of pick off all these extra leaves just so they're not in with my seeds. And then you can just pick off the bunches, and there's about 5 or 6 per bunch, and you can just break them apart onto your paper towel. So you do that with all of them and kind of separate them out. And then if there's any that are still kind of green, which mine all look pretty brown, but if there's any that still have a little bit of green on them, you want to let them sit out and kind of spread them out and let them dry out for a few days at least before you store them. And the reason for that is if there's any that are still green or a little bit wet at all, it'll mold and ruin all of your seeds. So you don't want that. You want them to be completely dry before you store them. And then you can store them either in your old seed packet from the previous season when you planted, but you don't want to mix them with any old seeds. You want to keep them completely separate, so you have them and label it for each year, so you're not mixing them with last year's. But you can put them in just like an envelope or a little Ziploc bag as long as they're dry, and then you want to store them in a cool, dark place until you're ready to plant them. And that is how you harvest and store spinach seeds. I hope you all enjoyed the video. You can just comment below if you have any questions or any suggestions, and subscribe to our channel, and we'll have more videos to come. Have a good one.